Hi everyone and welcome to Nicko's Kitchen's What You Want. Today's recipe request comes in from the Facebook user Carly Bowen, and she's asked me to make a Kit Kat chocolate cheesecake slice. Let's get started.
He's got budget meals Monday, what you want Wednesday, fast food Friday, what else could he share? It's Nicko's Kitchen where satisfying meals are prepared.
So firstly, for our chocolate Kit Kat cheesecake, we're going to work on the base. And what I've got here are some cookie crumbs, just some plain sweetened biscuits as we call them here in Australia. But you don't want any fillings in them or anything like that. You could use graham crackers in the US and just add a little bit of sugar if you wanted to. And I've also got some melted butter that I'm going to add to the crumb mixture. And we're going to mix this around until it comes like wet sand. So just into a baking tray now, I've just lined it with some baking paper. You can do this in a cake tin as well, but because we're going to be putting in Kit Kat soon, I wanted a square tin or a rectangle tin because the Kit Kats are going to fit in so much easier. You don't have to worry about cutting them if you're using a round cake tin. And with our crumb mixture, I'm just going to be placing it in and press it down just into the sides, the corners. Now we're going to put our Kit Kats in, and what I've got here is a block of Kit Kat, and the beauty about getting the long ones is I've just taken one piece off and it just fits nicely into my tin here. So you can see what I've done here. I've just cut off the ends just to make them fit, because when we cut it, it's gonna make it a lot easier. So just into a bowl here, I've got some Philadelphia cream cheese. It's at room temperature, so it's nice and soft. It's gonna be really hard to work with if you just bring it straight out of the fridge. So just leave it for an hour or so before you start using it. Now, to the cream cheese, I'm going to be placing in some cocoa powder. I'm just going to sift it through so we don't get any lumps. And I'm also going to be adding in some gelatin that I've just mixed up in some boiling water, and it's just dissolved, and I'm just going to add some of that in as well. And using our electric beaters, I'm going to mix this for a minute or two. So this is what we're after, this beautiful thick chocolate cheesecake mix. So that's now done. We're going to pop this on top of our biscuit base and Kit Kats. So we want to place this straight on. Just be gentle with it. You don't want to sort of move the Kit Kats around too much and disturb them. Just move it to the sides. So once we've got it as flat as possible, we're now going to pop this into the fridge for about an hour, just to let that all set. And then we're going to be working on the last step of the dish, which is putting over some melted chocolate over the top. So I've just pulled it out of the fridge, and now I'm going to be putting over a milk chocolate layer on the top. So what I've got here in a jug is some melted milk chocolate. Now you could use dark, you could use white chocolate if you wanted to, and all I'm going to do now is just pour it over the top. And just spread it out to the sides. Now we're going to pop this back into the freezer for about another hour, just until that top layer sets, and then we can slice into it and get stuck in. So I'm watching the waistline, and I'm just going to get a little bit of this Kit Kat cheesecake slice. Let's go. I love this. And you know what? There's no sugar in that cheesecake mixture. So you've got that balance of that cheesecake that just pulls it back because it's not sweet. But then of course you've got the milk chocolate on the top, the Kit Kat, the sugary base. So if we had put sugar into that filling, it would have been too sweet. It's still very rich though, and you know what? It's just layer after layer after layer of chocolatey, goodness, and then of course that biscuit base is just beautiful. Great textures, great flavors. This one's really easy to do as well, and you know what? Everyone is gonna love it. It's a real treat. Give it a try soon.